Sweetness. It's the taste we're conditioned to crave from the moment we're born. It's everywhere, sneaking into our meals, our drinks, even the foods we think are healthy. But what if I told you there were entire cultures that turned their backs on it? Not because they couldn't find sugar, but because they chose not to eat it. And their reward? Longer lives, fewer diseases, and a resilience that modern diets could never dream of matching. In ancient times, sweetness was rare. Honey was sacred, fruits were seasonal, and processed sugar didn't exist. But even when they had access to sweet foods, some cultures viewed them with suspicion. They believed that indulging in sweetness made the body weak, the mind lazy, and the spirit corrupted. They didn't see sweetness as a treat, they saw it as a trap. Take the Spartans, for example. You know them as warriors, a society obsessed with strength, discipline, and endurance. What most people don't know is that they avoided sweet foods entirely. Their diet was plain, even harsh, because they believed that strength came from simplicity. Sugar? That was for the soft, the indulgent, the weak. And their philosophy worked. Spartans didn't just survive, they thrived. Their bodies were lean, their stamina unmatched, their lifespans remarkably long for their time. Or look at traditional Ayurvedic practices in ancient India. Sweet foods were considered medicinal, meant to be consumed sparingly and only for balance. Overindulgence? That was seen as poison. They knew, long before modern science, that an excess of sweetness could disrupt the body, leading to disease, lethargy, and a shortened life. And now, centuries later, what have we done? We've built entire industries around sweetness. We've taken something that was once sacred and rare and turned it into an addiction. The average person today consumes over 70 pounds of sugar a year. 70 pounds. And the results are catastrophic: skyrocketing rates of diabetes, heart disease, obesity, and inflammation. What those ancient cultures knew instinctively, we've had to rediscover through decades of research. Sweetness is seductive, but it's also dangerous. It tricks your brain, spikes your blood sugar, and leaves you craving more. It's not just a taste, it's a weapon. And the more you consume it, the more it consumes you. The truth is, those ancient cultures weren't missing out. They weren't depriving themselves. They were protecting something we've lost: the ability to live in harmony with food, to see it as nourishment, not a fix. They understood that sweetness, when overindulged, weakens the body, fogs the mind, and shortens the breath of life. So, the question isn't why they avoided sweet foods. The question is, why can't we? Why do we reach for sweetness even when it's killing us? Why do we ignore the wisdom of those who lived longer, healthier lives without it? Maybe it's time to rethink the role of sweetness in our diets. Not as an indulgence, not as a staple, but as something rare, something meaningful. Because if the ancient Spartans could conquer empires without sugar, maybe we don't need it to conquer our lives either.